In this video, I'm going to be looking at how NBA legends, current players, and sports analysts view the great Stephen Curry. By now, everyone in the basketball world, and even some people who do not play basketball, know the name Stephen Curry. It's kind of like back in the day when you know your girlfriend knows nothing about basketball, but when you ask her to name a player, she would always say MJ or Kobe. Steph Curry is carving out a place for himself in basketball history to the point where even people who don't know anything about basketball can hear the name Stephen Curry and know that it means something. Let's jump right into what some of the most influential people in the sport of basketball have to say about Steph. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was quite the player in his day. Even though his exit from the league may have been a little bit less than ideal, Allen held his own and then some while he was playing in the NBA. From early on in his career, Allen made a name for himself as one of the best point guards in the league. Now you have some perspective on who Allen Iverson is if you are really new to this. AI thinks Steph should be on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. When Allen Iverson was asked to name his top 5 players, he made sure everyone knew that Stephen Curry was included. Allen Iverson, the answer, said, "I love Steph so much, that's why I named him my point guard. I think he changed the game sort of like I did. I'm just a big Steph Curry fan." Well, there you have it, folks. The man said it himself. He is just a big Steph Curry fan. Next up is the big diesel, Shaquille O'Neal himself. Even though a lot of people view Shaq as the most dominant player to have ever played in the NBA, some of these very same people are often critical of how critical he is himself when speaking about the current crop of NBA players. Recently, Shaq went the opposite way when he shared his feelings about Steph Curry. Shaq revealed that Steph Curry is his favorite basketball player and he loves to watch him play. He said, "I like him because there's something I have not seen before. A lot of times when I try to compare the new era and the old era, people say I'm hating. First of all, I'm too great to hate. Second of all, I've never seen anything like Steph, and that's why he's my favorite player." Yup, Big Shaq Diesel has big things to say about little Steph. Scotty Pippen is another legend that spoke highly of Steph Curry. If you are very young and not sure why I call Pippen a legend, let's just say he did some great things while he was playing in Chicago in the Michael Jordan era. Alright? So what did Scotty have to say about Steph? Well, you see, Scottie Pippen is now an analyst on The Jump. The Jump is presented on ESPN, and on that show, Scotty said that Stephen Curry is truly a one-off player that we will never see again. He believes that Stephen Curry's ability is in his genetics, and there aren't a lot of people who can do that. He said if Steph forces his son to go after his records, it is a possibility, but outside of that, it's locked up in Steph's DNA. Believe me, guys, these are some really high praises, alright? On to the next one. Jesus once said that Stephen Curry is on his way to becoming the best ever. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. I meant Jesus Shuttlesworth, Ray Allen. You know, the guy with the 3-point record in the NBA? The guy who gave LeBron James his second ring in Miami? Yeah, that guy. Ray Allen said he thinks Stephen Curry is someday going to be the best player ever. When asked to share his thoughts on the legend to be, Ray Allen said, "Based on what he's done, I think he's on his way to being the best ever. It's always arguable based on who's telling the story. I've sat back and watched a lot and listened to a lot of people talk. He's creating a lane all of his own. People comparing him to me, to Reggie, but I think Steph is in a category of his own. Myself, Reggie Miller, Kyle Korver, Klay Thompson, we play a different game. We're shooters. We come off screens, pin downs. Steph can do that, but he's creating a different lane. Point guards haven't been able to do what he's been able to do." And yeah, I think he is right. Curry really is a hybrid of a point guard and a 2 guard based on his abilities. He is a bit small to be a 2 guard in the traditional sense, but his abilities are an elite mixture of the 1 and the 2, no doubt. Alright, so we have 2 other legends to look at who shared their thoughts on Stephen Curry. The first one is Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett played with Ray Allen and won a championship in Boston. These guys could be viewed as the first big 3 when they went to team up with Paul Pierce. Kevin Garnett said that Stephen Curry revolutionized the way the NBA is played because of his consistency when shooting the ball from behind the 3-point line. Guys, this is coming from a guy who played with Jesus. Remember, we just told you who Jesus Shuttlesworth is, so for Kevin Garnett to say that Stephen Curry is now revolutionizing in the NBA even after playing with Ray Allen, this is really big. The next legend is Steve Nash, the same guy who is currently coaching Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden in Brooklyn. Guys, do you think the Brooklyn Nets will make it? Really make it, you know? Not just to the playoffs, but make it all the way. I'm getting a little sidetracked here, sorry. Back to Steve Nash. So a quick comparison between Steve Nash and Steph Curry. Steve Nash won the MVP titles in the 05 and 06 NBA seasons. In those seasons, he averaged 15 and 18 points respectively, while shooting about 43% from the three-point line. Steve Nash was really good, but when you compare Stephen Curry's stats, all I can say is wow. In the 2015 and 16 seasons, Steph won the MVP titles while averaging 23 and 30 points respectively. He shot the ball 44 and 45% from the three-point line respectively as well. Steve Nash said Stephen Curry is already an all-time great. When he was asked to share his thoughts on Steph's greatness, he said, "I hate to break it to you, but he's already an all-time great. He's the ultimate one-off. He's the evolution of basketball. It evolved before our eyes. There's layers to his place in the zeitgeist. People don't associate him to greatness because he doesn't dominate the game physically. He dances. He pays a tax for that. He pays a tax for his great teammates." He is correct. I couldn't agree more with what he said about Stephen Curry changing the game and revolutionizing what we know as basketball. We are truly privileged to witness this in our lifetime. We can say, I was there when we talked about this in the future. All right, now let's look at what his peers are saying. What are the people who go up against him thinking about this fella? LeBron James and Jimmy Butler both believe that Stephen Curry is a generational talent. LeBron tweeted that Steph could play in any era of basketball and would be great. Jimmy Butler thinks that Stephen Curry is an all-round point guard that has the automatic green light, but can also put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. He also speaks about Steph's ability to get his teammates involved as being top-notch. From his entrance into the league, or even before that, Trae Young has been drawing comparisons to Steph Curry. He once joked that he will become as great as Steph in one season, but then quickly showed respect for Steph by saying he has a lot of respect for Stephen Curry, and that without Steph, there would be no Trae Young. Another talented player that is currently in the league that thinks highly of Curry is Joel Embiid. I wonder if he still has a thing for Rihanna. Anyway, Joel was on Steph Curry's YouTube show, and he said that he really hopes he could get the opportunity to play with Curry. And if he is choosing his ultimate team, he would definitely put Steph on it. A lot of us have a lot of things to say about Steph, but some people actually get paid for this. Yeah, I'm talking about those TV analysts. These guys aren't afraid to say what they feel about players. Sometimes they are right, and boy oh boy, sometimes they are wrong. A few positive things that were said about Stephen Curry by popular TV analyst Stephen A. Smith. After Steph scored 62 points against the Portland Trail Blazers, Stephen A. Smith went on record saying that he is the greatest shooter in the history of mankind. The owner of Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, said he believes Stephen Curry is even greater than Kevin Durant because he redefined the game of basketball. He said he thinks the average number of threes attempted per team in the NBA has doubled since Stephen Curry entered the NBA. I'm not so sure if I want to say that Stephen Curry is greater than KD, but I will admit that he has changed the game in ways that KD hasn't. I just know that if you put both of these guys together on the floor in a game of one-on-one, we'll see some fireworks and then some. Well, guys, that's what some of the greats have to say about Steph Curry. Share your thoughts in the comments section below and tell me what you think. Peace.